Hello, hello, hello. I am your host OCL, and welcome back to 1 Century Later. Today we'll be taking a look at all events from November 8th to November 14th, 1925. As with last week, all of my sources are in the description down below. Sunday, November 8th, 1925. Elections were held in Portugal for all 163 seats of the Câmara dos Deputados. The Democratic Party won 83 seats, securing the majority, and the Nationalist Republican Party won 36 seats. Monday, November 9th, 1925. The Rhinelander versus Rhinelander divorce case between Kip Rhinelander and Alice Jones opened on this day in New York. Kip and Alice had married the previous year, and newspapers quickly pointed out the differences in the couple's economic and racial classes. Kip coming from one of the richest white families in New York City, and Alice coming from a middle-class mixed-race family. Mounting pressure from his family and the press forced Kip Rhinelander to seek an annulment of the marriage. Tuesday, November 10th, 1925. Nothing of historical precedent happened on this day. Wednesday, November 11th, 1925. British archaeologist Howard Carter and his team began unwrapping the mummy of King Tutankhamun. The fragility and aging of the wrappings, as well as the coating holding the bandages in place, made the delicate task of unwrapping King Tut while preserving the bandages difficult. Carter and his team were the first people to see King Tut since he died in 1323 BC, 3,248 years prior. The French fascist party, La Fâcheux, was founded by Jorge Valois. Many of the members aligned themselves with Italian fascism, however Valois' beliefs aligned much closer with Marxism. Salvatore Samuso Amantuna, the leader of the Jenna Brothers crime family in Chicago, was shot twice in the chest by two gunmen while at a barber shop. Before going to the hospital, Amantuna met with his brother, identifying Vincent Drucci and Jim Doherty of the North Side Gang as the gunmen. Thursday, November 12th, 1925. The HMS M1 submarine sank after colliding with the Swedish collier SS Vidar while submerged in the English Channel. The HMS M1 was participating in an exercise with the HMS L-17, L-22, and L-23. The Vidar collided with the submarine, tearing the submarine's main gun from its hull and flooding the submarine. The captain of the Vidar assumed the collision was the result of running into simulated submarine explosives used in the exercise. It wasn't until November 20th, when the Vidar reached dry dock, that paint matching the paint used in the M1 was discovered on the bow of the ship, and the crew realized what had happened. All 69 members aboard the HMS M1 died. Friday, November 13th, 1925. Australian politician Charles MacDonald, who had been serving in the Australian Parliament since 1901, passed away on this day. He died one day before the Australian parliamentary elections, and his opponent, Grosvenor Francis, was voted into office unopposed. The Prime Minister of Poland, Władysław Grabski, and his cabinet of ministers resigned following disagreements between the government and the President of the Bank of Poland over how to best stabilize the zloty, a national currency of Poland, after Germany launched a tariff war on Poland, causing the zloty to lose roughly 50% of its original 1924 value. After being shot by gunmen on the 11th, Samuso Amantuna requested a wedding between him and his fiancée, Rose Nikarov, in the hospital in case he didn't recover. Before the wedding was complete, Amantuna fell unconscious and died. Saturday, November 14th, 1925. Voting was held in Australia for all 75 seats of the House of Representatives and 22 of the 36 seats of the Australian Senate. This was the first election where voting was compulsory, and 91.4% of the electorate voted in this election. In the House of Representatives, the Nationalist Party won 37 seats, and its coalition partner, the Country Party, won 13 seats, for a total of 51 seats, including the one seat gained from the coalition itself. Together, the Nationalist Country Coalition secured the majority of the House. In the Senate, the Nationalist Country Coalition combined held 28 seats after the Country Party took 4 seats from the Labour Party, securing the majority for the coalition. David C. Stevenson, the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan in Indiana, was sentenced to life in prison following the kidnapping, rape, and murder of Madge Oberholzer on April 14th. Indiana Governor Edward L. Jackson denied Stevenson's request for a pardon, causing Stevenson to release a list of all elected officials in the Indiana government who had been bribed by the KKK. And that is all. See you next week for all events from Sunday, November 15th, 1925, to Saturday, November 21st, 1925. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.